Hello, Cruising World. Mick the Suit Guy with you. It's Monday. Monday is Tips Day. And today I have, well, it looks like 7 tips. There should be 2 weeks worth of tips from my friend Suzanne, my good Canadian friend Suzanne. So let's see if there's any A in here. Best I could think of. Apologies. So, all right, so let's get on with this. As you know, I do not read these tips in advance. I read them live as we go and we react as we go. Now, they look like pretty short tips. So hopefully I've got something to say about each one, or we may be a very short episode. But we're going to do 3 or 4 this week and 3 next week. So let's get on with it. Suzanne. Oh, hang on. Portman's been in here. That cat. All right, so number 1. If you want to do, these are from Suzanne as well. If you want to do the high ropes course during your cruise, do it at your first opportunity, since they often close during high winds. Excellent point. You could apply this also to the bike, the pedal bike. You could apply it to the bolt on the XL class ships. Anything like that. If you want to do these things, do them early. You can always go do them again if the weather stays good. But if you don't do them early, you may not get there. I find on the last sea day over the years, for whatever reason, the last sea day is usually never that great. I think that they know we're heading back home. So, and these days there's more and more 4 port day cruises. So sometimes they're not even open the whole day. So yeah, definitely take advantage of the first opportunity you get to go do the ropes course. This is the pedal bike is specifically on the Vista class ships, and obviously the bolt will no longer be on the Festival or the Tropical, but it is on the other 3. So yes, good start, very good start, Suzanne. Let's see if we can keep that going. That's one I could have come up with myself. That's how good it was. Number 2, consider going to a vast array of entertainment options versus just the nightly shows in the main liquid lounge. Carnival offers a plethora of options, such as comedy shows, piano bar, late night deck parties, etc., etc. Well, I'm kind of the opposite to this, because I don't go to the shows in the liquid lounge. I don't think they're very good. The only good shows I've seen on a cruise ship are the ones on Royal. But if you watch my other videos, I'm probably never going to cruise Royal again, because they're just too... I don't like the way they charge so much money for their newer ships, and I like newer ships. So, and I don't really care about the shows that much to pay all their extra money. So I am a comedy show guy, first and foremost. I am a piano bar person if the piano bar player is good. We've done a lot of cruises lately where there's been a crowd of us just hanging out and chatting in the bar at the end of the night, which was probably the best entertainment we could have had. So there wasn't any pressure to go do a lot of other things, because we just wanted to hang out. As far as the late night deck parties go, I mean, I'm just giving you my opinion, trying to be nice here. Late night deck parties on a Carnival cruise ship. Line dances, probably more line dances. If you do the 80s rock and glow, you spend all this time getting dressed up and ready for it. You go up there, the bands, or there's 80s music playing for like half an hour before the 80s party, and then they'll play, then the cruise director comes up and they'll do 80s music for 20-25 minutes, and then that's it. So I'm not a huge fan of late night deck parties either. So, but I can totally see how people would be. So I think the overall point here is that there are many, many things to do in the evening on a cruise ship, especially Carnival. You take some of the other cruise lines, there's not nearly as much stuff to do. Royal, you've pretty much just got the shows. Their comedy, I mean, I went to the comedy club one time, and 2 things. Number 1, the comedians weren't very funny, and they were clean. And number 2, half their act was bashing Carnival. I mean, it's just not funny. Other than that, they didn't really do anything at night. There wasn't much to do. Very disappointing. Carnival has so much more to do at night than these other cruise lines. So, oh, they had the dueling pianos on the Icon, which was cool, but they only played for like an hour. Certainly didn't play for very long. Not like the ones on Carnival. Yeah, way more to do on Carnival than any other cruise line at night, in my experience. Karaoke, don't forget that. That's almost professional. But yeah, just don't get stuck doing one thing the whole time, kind of like I do. But number 3, please don't forget to tip extra to any crew members who made your cruise extra special. Example, your servers, cabin attendant, etc., etc. If you can. I have to qualify this all the time. Some of us are lucky enough to be able to afford to do that a bit more than others. And I'm very aware that a lot of people have to save to do maybe one cruise a year. So I'm very cognizant that you've got to be careful when you say these things to qualify it by saying, if you can. So yes, they work very hard for you, but also you've worked very hard to go on that cruise. So you want to maximize your money. So yeah, and I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. I'm trying to be honest there. If you see people going and removing their gratuities, sometimes you have to look at circumstance, and I do understand some people removing their gratuities. If you remove them because you don't believe in tipping, then no, I have no sympathy for you. Whatever. But if you are removing them because you simply can't afford to pay them, and I'm not saying struggled. I got to be careful how I word this, and I think you know what I'm saying. If it's taken a lot for you to get on this cruise, then I understand that. I do. But if you do it because you don't agree with it, or if you're Australian and you're just ignorant, that will get them going. I'll repeat my usual Australian fun fact number 1. Australians will spend half their day telling you it's not in their culture to do tips, right? Which to my mind means when you're in Australia, don't do tips. But you're on a cruise in the Caribbean or in America or wherever, where it is in the culture to pay tips, so pay the damn tips. And I will tell you this, when we were in Australia, the tour guys gladly took tips. Yeah, there you go. But if you do have the little bit of extra money and they've gone above and beyond for you, then absolutely do that. There was a time back in the day when we used to go, the tips, they're split into 3 different ways, right? So part of that tip goes to the behind the scenes staff, part goes to the room stewards, and part goes to the dining room staff, right? The bartenders are separate. So there was a time when we used to go down there and we would leave the behind the scenes tips on because we would never see them, but we would take off the tips for the room steward and the dining room staff, because this is when it was set dining. This was before your time dining was in, and we wanted to give extra to the people that actually served us, and I still stand by doing that. We spent a lot more in tips than we did on paying the tips, if you know what I mean. So we could then tip our actual room steward, and then we could actually tip our dining room staff. Nowadays, we don't do that. We leave it on because we do your time dining, so we never really have the same dining staff. And we'll tip the room steward a bit extra, but not as much as we used to. But it's all, all in comparison to what we're doing. So times change and you adapt to the change, to the times, as it were. But yeah, so if you have it and you can afford it, absolutely. But we got to be careful, I think, not to judge people too much, because there could be reasons why they don't. And again, I'm trying to be as nice as I can and not patronizing in any way by saying that, but I think you know what I mean. I understand. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll do 3 next week. Try to watch at least one sunrise and one sunset from an upper deck. Your heart and soul will thank you. If it's a good sunset or a good sunrise, chances of me being up for a sunrise are not very high, especially getting up to the decks. We do interiors quite a lot, especially in the Caribbean. And if I'm in an interior and I'm awake early, I'm staying in that interior until I want to get up. But sunsets, yes. We will we do have an affinity. Well, I have an affinity. Let's make it obvious that we will splurge on some nice trips. As you watch this, we are currently on a trip in Asia. I'm pre-recording this, and we are on Celebrity Millennium, going from Bali to Mumbai, and we do have an aft extended cat balcony, and I do have one of them grip things I'm going to put on the barrier at the back there, the bar at the back, and my goal is to try and do time lapses of sunsets every night until I get a good one, and I'll keep the best one and I'll post it. But I am a big sunset fan. I'm a big sunrise fan too, but the only time I'm up for a sunrise is if we're up early to do a full ship tour, and then we'll see a sunrise. That's the only chance you've got of me seeing one, most likely. But sunrise, sunsets, yeah. So I do absolutely agree. I love sunrises. In fact, you may not know this. We've got a ton. We've got so many we've still got to do. But we do a lot of collections of things. So we have the shot glasses, everybody does that. We have the magnets, everybody does that. We also have a Christmas tree. We get a Christmas decoration from where we're going. A lot of people do that. But we have a fourth one that I don't really talk about much because we were so far behind in doing it. But we try and get a sunset picture from a local artist everywhere we go. So right now in Julie's office, it's surrounded with sunset pictures from places we've been to. Unfortunately, it costs a lot more to frame them when you get home than it does to buy them usually. So I'm not exaggerating when I say we probably got about 30 or 40 just sitting on the floor that we haven't framed yet, waiting to go up. So we do love sunsets, just in case anybody's wondering. I think you've gathered I'm more of a sunset person than a sunrise, but there's nothing better. And go do it from an upper deck. If you want good pictures, hopefully it's at the back or the front, and go get it from there because you won't have anything in the way, and you can get a nice, picture. Usually it's from the back or the front anyway. I'm waffling. All right. Thank you, Suzanne. What did I like this week? I like number 1. Number 2, I mean, I think the point was just go see different things, not as opposed to the main liquid lounge. I think just in general, go see different things. And the tipping, if you can afford it, absolutely. And the sunrise and sunsets, or sunrises. So yeah, pretty damn good, I would say, wouldn't you? Well, we will have week 2 next week, and I will have a tip on hand just in case, because there's 3 tips left, and they're all pretty short. So I don't know how much I can, not elaborate, but talk about them. We shall see. And I'm going to keep the same suit on for next week's tips, because as you know, if you watch these very often, I'm going to get up, I'm going to turn the camera off, I'm going to turn the camera on, and I'm going to record the next one in about 30 seconds. But I'm going to show it a week after this one. Subscribe. Forgot to do all this stuff, didn't I? Got to subscribe. Got to hit that bell if you want to get notifications when these videos come out. If you'd like to become a member, please, it would help me greatly if you become a member. I just did my annual taxes, and I've been saying this a lot lately. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I actually lost quite a lot of money over what I made. It would help me a great deal if you would become a member, is what I am saying. And memberships start as low as a couple of dollars a month. You've no idea how much it would help. I have 3,500 subscribers almost. If they all did $2 a month, do the math, I'd be all right. And I'd be making much better videos and going to much better places. Although I'm going from Bali to Mumbai while I'm showing this. So I'm already going to better places, but I can afford to do it more. Send me your tips. We're closing in on 200. This is getting us very, very close. We're very close to our 200th episode. So I should be doing that soon after I get back from my trip. And it's going to be, I was going to do my top 10 tips, but it's going to be my top 10 tips from cruising from Bali to Mumbai now. That'll be fun. Plus, whoever sends me the 200th tip, and I think this is going to be about number 196 or so, so we're getting very close, you are going to get a prize, which I've shown several times lately. You're going to get a Fun Time Freddy Making Towel Animals book. And you're going to get a Spinaroonie medallion from the Venezia. It spins. Look. It spins. See it? So you've got a little time to get it in there. Probably already done by now. Snooze, you lose. Oh, questions, email me. My email is coming up. I'll see you later, Cruising World. I'll see you in about 20 seconds. Well, thanks for watching. I truly appreciate it. If you haven't yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. You'll get notifications when future videos come out. And also you'll see to the left and right of me, there are some more of my videos you can watch. Also, you can join my lovely little channel here. Hit that join button next to the subscribe button on my main page. We have 3 different levels you can join at. And if you join at the highest level, I will name a suit after you. And every time I wear that suit, I'll have your name in the pocket. I will sing your name to the rafters, maybe even at karaoke.